Welcome, Atlasers! This is going to be a quick tutorial on how to pin species locations. Pinning locations, especially of significant species, is important because it provides enough detail to be used for species-specific conservation, like habitat protection. Without pinning locations, only approximate locations can be mapped. Once you've got your location and effort information in there, which I have done, you can press continue. This will take you to the page where you can enter your species. And you can do that by either scrolling through the list or typing in the species name into the search box. If you're not seeing the species that you're looking for, there are these filters at the top. The main species that we want locations for are species that have those flags next to them. The single dagger flag means that a species is provincially rare. These are typically very rare breeders and species at risk. The double dagger flag means that a species is regionally rare. These are typically species that are very rare local breeders. The double S means that the species is a species of interest. These are potential future species at risk and colonial species. These flagged species are ones which detailed location data from the atlas will be crucial for future conservation actions. In order to pin a location of a species, you first need to add the species to your list. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll search for barn swallow. I'll add the count of 2, and I'll add the breeding evidence of V for visiting a probable nest site. And then I'm going to press Add Details. Here's where you can add a description or details that will help confirm the identification or breeding evidence code used for this species. I'll add my description of what the barn swallows were doing and why I'm using the V code as my breeding evidence code. Most projects that use the data from the atlas are not going to be able to manually map individual records from a location description. For that reason, we do recommend using this Coordinates tab to pin species locations. So if I zoom in, I'll be able to see my track. If I switch to satellite mode, I'll be able to see the landmarks better and get a better idea of where things are. I'll keep zooming in until I get to this platform here. This is where I saw the barn swallows going in and out from underneath the platform. I'm going to go ahead and click here. And if I scroll down, you can see that it adds the lat lon at the bottom. I have the option of saying how many individuals there were there. So if both of the individuals were there, I could say 2. If there was only one of them, I could say 1. And I could change the breeding evidence accordingly as well. Once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and press close, and I can continue on with my list, adding details or pinning locations whenever necessary. If you'd like to pin species locations from previous checklists, you can go to Explore and press View Dataforms. From here, you'll see all of the data forms that you've previously submitted. If I go ahead and view the one that I've just submitted, and press Change Species List, then I can add details or pin locations for any species that I'd like. So if I go back to that barn swallow, I can see that I only pinned the location of 1 individual when I said that I saw 2 individuals. So if I zoom in again, then I can pin the location of that second individual that I saw. So now I have 1 individual accounted for under the viewing platform and 1 individual accounted for over near this bridge. If I wanted, I could change the breeding evidence for this first individual to be V for visiting, as I've mentioned in my details, and I can change this second individual to be H for habitat. Once I'm done, I again can press close and then submit my form. In order to pin species locations using the NatureCounts app, the process is pretty well the same as on the online portal. So you can either scroll through the species list, or you can search for species using the search bar at the top of the screen. The species filters on the NatureCounts app can be found right next to where it says species name. Again, I'll just search for the barn swallow. I'll add my breeding evidence, the same as I did on the online portal. And to add the details, you can just click on where it says the species name, so barn swallow, and the options to add details and add location should appear. I'll add my details of them entering and exiting below the viewing platform. And then I will add my locations. Once I've added both my locations, they'll show up with the lot and lawn and the number of individuals. Once I've added my details and my locations, then I can go through the regular process of submitting my checklist. Those are the ins and outs of pinning species locations using the NatureCounts portal and NatureCounts app. Thank you all very much for all of your efforts, and happy atlasing!